الخمين نجد مسلمين
نجد المخبلين
المخبلين عابدين دشان يطعم هالسال
هذا مش نايم المخبلين عابدين دشان هذا كشوف المخبلين רוצים להרוג אותך אבל המחבלים רוצים להרוג אותך המחבלים רוצים להרוג אותך מה הם רוצים לעשות לך?
הם רוצים שכולם יעבדו את השם
זה לא, הם שונאים אותך בגלל שאתה יהודי נראה לך שמחבל אכפת לו אם אתה שומר מצוות או לא?
זה שקר של הציונים, זה לא נכון
אז אתה מעדיף את המחבלים מהחיים
אוהבים אותנו
كان المسلمون يخبؤون اليهود في المساجد وفي الأقبية وفي مختلف الأماكن وأنقذوا 5,000 يهودي في ألبانيا.
Albania in the Second World War was a small Muslim country and they had a few thousand Jews there. Germany has occupied Albania. But not a single Jew was killed in Albania. You know where the Muslims were hiding the Jews? They were hiding them in mosques, in basements, in all types of places. And they saved all these 5,000 Jews in Albania. We're going to live together as the same as it was everywhere, as the same as Jews lived in Turkey, Algeria, Morocco, in Iran till now, peacefully, with harmony, without any problems, inshallah.
اعتراف يهودي في مقابلة صحفية: نحن من بدأ الحرب على الفلسطينيين العرب.
War is horrible, so why did the Palestinians initiate this war with their vicious attack on Israelis on October 7?
Well, they didn't.
What do you mean they didn't?
They didn't. This war has been going on for 75 years. Israel initiated it in 1948 by ethnically cleansing 750,000 people. We must expel Arabs. We must expel Arabs and take their places. We must expel Arabs and take their places. And if we have to use force, not to dispossess the Arabs of the Negev and Transjordan, but to guarantee our own right to settle in those places, then we have force at our disposal. David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, said that in 1937. And that's what they proceeded to do. The people in Gaza, this is what you need to understand. The people in Gaza, over 80% of them are refugees. Many of them are from a place called Majdal Asqalan in what is now southern Israel, in a city called Ashkelon. And they were dragged from their homes and driven from their homes, placed in prison camps, barbed wire prison camps, and then dumped in trucks in 1950 into the Gaza Strip where they would be permanently warehoused. And then Israel proceeded to move Arab, Jewish refugees and Russians into Ashkelon to prevent them from ever coming back, and pass laws to prevent Arabs, Palestinians from being able to return to their homes. 750,000 were ethnically cleansed. For 18 years, the remaining Palestinians, 100,000 were internally displaced inside Israel. The remaining were put under military rule. They were under military occupation until 1966. Then in 1967, Israel violently, in a war it initiated, occupies Gaza, occupies the West Bank, occupies the Sinai Peninsula, the Golan Heights in East Jerusalem, and then invades Lebanon in 1982, attacking Palestinian refugees there, puts Gaza under siege in 2005. No one can get in or out without Israeli military permission. We must kill and kill all day, every day. That's according to Arnon Sofer, an Israeli government consultant who helped devise the siege of Gaza. For years, Israel would not allow...
الكاتبة اليهودية الكندية الشهيرة نعومي كلاين في خطاب لها تقول: كثيرون من شعبنا يعبدون مجددا صنما زائفا وقد دنسهم، وهذا الصنم الزائف اسمه الصهيونية.
I'm thinking about Moses and his rage when he came down from the mount to find the Israelites worshiping a golden calf. It is a lesson about false idols, about the human tendency to worship the profane and shiny, to look to the small and material rather than the large and transcendent. What I want to say to you this evening at this revolutionary and historic Seder in the streets is that too many of our people are worshiping a false idol once again. Yes. They are enraptured by it, they are drunk on it, they are profaned by it, and that false idol is called Zionism. Yes. It is a a false idol that takes our most profound biblical stories of justice and emancipation from slavery, the story of Passover itself, and turns them into brutalist weapons of colonial land theft, roadmaps for ethnic cleansing and genocide. It is a false idol that has taken the transcendent idea of the promised land, a metaphor for human liberation that has traveled across faiths to every corner of this globe and dared to turn it into a deed of sale for a militarist ethno-state. Political Zionism's version of liberation is itself profane. From the start, it required the mass expulsion of Palestinians from their homes and ancestral lands in the Nakba. From the start, it has been at war with collective dreams of liberation.
المؤرخ الإسرائيلي إيلان بابيه: المشروع الصهيوني اقترب من نهايته.
Is entering its last phase. It's the beginning of the end of this project. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable from from looking at it from the inside the Jewish society. It's imploding from the inside. There is no cement that holds the various groups in Israel together. It's not sustainable because I think young Jews all over the world would stop equating Zionism with Judaism. It's not sustainable because the Palestinian younger generation have a much better vision and ideas of how to push forward the liberation struggle. And it's not sustainable because of Israel's economic problems and the possibilities of changes in the region, and definitely in the way the international community treats Israel as a pariah state. However, these processes will take more time, but they will happen. So there is a kind of a dawn after this dark night, but I would be irresponsible if I would say that I know exactly how to end this night, terrible period today. But I do want to beseech anyone who's listening to us. It's working in a sense that you cannot see the full picture, but it works if it's relentless, if it doesn't stop, if everything we are doing is done 24/7 as much as we can, because I do think the more cumulative the impact is, the shorter the period in which Israel finally would be held to be accountable and maybe begin to pay the price that apartheid South Africa paid during the beginning of the sanctions.
Occupation no more!
6, 7, 8! Israel is a terrorist state!
Ceasefire! Now! Occupation no more!
Israel is a terrorist state!
Ceasefire!